Hey guys, Matt here. Just checking in. Supercoach is just reset. It was reset a little bit ago, but I got the F1 on, so I've sort of just sitting it there. So may have multiple takes at this if I get distracted or something big happens. Safety car at the moment, so we've got a little bit of time to have a look. 2077 for the week. I should really point at the obvious thing first before we start talking about score and rank. 4 trades this week. So if you don't know, 4 this week, 4 next week, and 2 extra on the year. So that gives us, that's due to the Richmond and West Coast game moving forward one, losing a game in round 14. Round 14 is an absolute mess now. And this round is a little bit safer. I don't know if I like giving 2 extra trades. I would have preferred to just say, instead of top 18, make it a top 15 or top 14 or something. I would have preferred that over giving 2 extra trades, because no one's going to use the trades to make a better score in round 14. Nobody. Yeah, people are going to take these trades and it's going to save some people's seasons. You can take the piss a little bit more. It was going to be a very difficult year to get full premo. A lot of teams, including very high ranked teams, were going to have a lot of difficulty getting full premo, and if they were, that last premo that they were getting in was going to be a dodgy type premo, instead of, say, a Parish, a Dangerfield, someone really, a Mills, Bont. It was going to be one of those 450k primos, taking a risk on them, and that's why I did Heaney last week. Had I known we were going to get 2 extra trades, I wouldn't have done Heaney last week at all. We'll talk about him in a minute. Either way, 2077, nice score. 2,200 for the week, pretty good. I think, if you've gone over 2,000, you've had a good week this week, realistically. And I've gone up 50 spots to 120. I think top 100 is certainly achievable, and that's going to be the goal from here on out. But we will see. With the extra 2 trades, that's really put a spanner. I get that everyone gets them, but that's really extended out who can get into these top positions and who can, and even the winner. I think there'll be a lot of very filthy people. I mean, it probably doesn't mean much to a lot of people having 2 extra trades. If you're just playing your leagues and things like that, it's fun. Use them. Get yourself an extra win in round 14 by using one, bringing in, say, a round 14 player, bring in Hall 1 week, switch him out for Zorko or something, whatever you want to do. It is what it is. So let's jump in, have a look, see how the team went, and I'll have some comments on how the teams went too, because I do have some comments. So the first thing, we will talk about it. Heaney, 55. I said it all year. I was recommended Heaney earlier on. That's I'm not blaming the person who recommended it to me. I was fine with that. I think it's a great recommendation, in fairness, and in hindsight, it's still okay. But I just knew I didn't want to go near him. I didn't like him. But everything about Heaney had Zorko and Hall written all over him, and he still does a little bit. He actually had a very nice game, or a reasonable game. He was just underscored. But it's just frustrating, because this is what Heaney does. It's what Zorko does. Zorko's obviously gone to another level now. But he's done the same thing too. So the risks that I had with both of these guys were that they are piss takers. They either get injured, they do something stupid, they're not fit, they take a week off. So Heaney, I traded him in on his week off. Still went up, luckily, and he's still going to go up, so I got him at his absolute lowest, so I'm alright with that. Zorko, suspended for a week. Guy's an idiot. But you can't say no to these sort of scores. What I will think about now, though, is Zorko was out for 2 weeks for 600,000 with 2 extra trades. I genuinely might think about flipping him out and getting him back in round 14. It's like, they're the type of moves that I'm thinking of with these extra trades. Holding Zorko for 2 weeks, do you do that? Oh, it's same. I mean, it could be the same as Grundy. Do you hold Grundy now? I think with ruck options, there's no other options. I think with DPP and mids, I think you can turn Zorko into someone like Josh Kelly for 2 weeks. You can make your money back, bit of crypto style investment. Flip him straight back out for Zorko in round 15. There's your 2 extra trades. So, probably won't do that, but whatever. It's a thought. You got to think outside the box with these extra trades. So let's go through the line. I did Heaney, I did Bianco, and I went early on Callum Coleman-Jones. So that's what I did there. I'm very happy with that. And in fact, this type of score, I may not even... I still want to get Reeves because of that round 14 bye. I may not, though, depending on how the trade goes. I might like Callum Coleman-Jones to just sit there, but I think it's worth using the extra trade to get Reeves in the rucks just because of Grundy's expected round 15. So I would like Reeves here. It's risky. It's something I'll have to think about as well. So there's going to be a lot of debate here. I may not even do trades at the end of this episode. I'll do them. I won't be serious about them. Where usually I lock them in, I show them. I got no idea at the moment what I'm doing here because there's a lot of variables. So either way, the defense is Mills, Lloyd Short. Love these two together. Unfortunately, their bye is next week. They're round 14 bye players, Sydney. So I'll lose two guys there, but I love having them. And I'm happy that I took the 2 bye weeks. So I'm going to get their entire bye scores, so I'm not really missing anything. And it's not possible to get in Mills. It was going to be too hard to get him in round 15. So I'm happy to take him early. Cop his bye in round 14, whatever. Lloyd, he's gone down 100k. It was obviously a loss starting him, but there's no way to know that coming in. And anyone who didn't start Lloyd probably isn't very good at Supercoach. Or, I mean, that's probably a bit unfair, but you probably should have started Lloyd. It's probably his last year of must-have now with Mills, guys like Goulden coming up. So it probably is his last year where he'll be just blind selected. He's now in a category where like a Short style and a Stewart style where you take a look, see how they go. Bianco, great. Looks like a really nice on-field option. And he's thrown a bit of a spanner because I wanted to put him back to the midfield. But it may be even a case where he's going to score better than Jones by the looks. He does have a bye in round 14, though. Again, round 14 bye player. Highmore played. What a stitch-up. He was the sub. So now he's gone down in price by another 7,000. Not a huge loss, but it is a stitch-up that he's done it. Whether he plays or not this week, I don't care. I'm really over him. He comes on. Stewart obviously comes on. Bianco will try to get into the mid somewhere. So there's 6 players this week, and I will try to get Whitfield. I'm going to try to fit Whitfield in, probably through... Well, it'll be through probably... I didn't want to have to trade Jones, but it'll probably be through Jones. Laird, obviously, sits here. Sorry. Laird comes back here. So there's 5. Whitfield's the 6th. Now, who do I do it for? I think safety-wise, I'd still do Jones, as crazy as that sounds. And the reason I say that is because if I don't trade Jones, I won't trade Jones, and then it was a waste to bring him in. I traded to bring him in. I didn't trade Highmore in. I started him. So, what did I? I'll have to think about whether I did or not. I'm pretty sure I did. Either way, it's a waste to just have Lachie Jones sit on the bench. He's a nice option to have as backup. He's had his buys. The issue is, so has Whitfield. So, by bringing Whitfield in, I miss nothing. I'm not missing a buy. I can bring Whitfield in. So, I probably will do Jones for Whitfield. That's not to say that I won't do Highmore for Whitfield, just because Highmore I feel is useless as depth. This is a dead position. I don't see Highmore playing regularly for St Kilda anymore. He's not good enough. They killed his confidence. He's not good enough. Whatever it is. Murphy, he's okay for depth. I don't mind it. There may be a case where we want to trade him later in the season. At the moment, I'm very happy with what Murphy's doing. He's coming off a concussion. He looks nice. Mids, these 5 are just sick. Obviously, what I did was I vice-captained Oliver, and that was the worst option I could have picked. So I could have done Lions, I could have done Gorn, I could have done Zorko, but I figured Oliver was he'd been averaging 140 for the last 3 weeks. I surely thought he was going to blow up against 200 against the Crows, 140 against Carlton, 125 against Sydney, 140 against the Dogs. I know Melbourne are very good. I know Brisbane are very good. I thought Melbourne would win. Oh, no, they did win, in fact. So I just figured he was going to... look good. I just figured he was going to score more than 94. However, that ended up being a really good thing for us because it meant that I was forced into the Bont pick. As you know, if you watched my teams where I spoke about the captain's choice, I was really unsure. There was only two other options after that, McRae and Bont averaged better than McRae. I'm not going to say he averages good against... It's not there anymore. I'm not going to say he averaged in his last three really nicely against Fremantle because that's not true, but it was better than McRae. So put the C on Bont, ended up getting the best captain of the week. So, or the best... Oh yeah, I think that was the highest score of the week, I think. So really happy with that. Finally nailed a captain. And that's the captain's full luck. You know, if people are saying, oh, I got this captain. It's pure luck, and it does make a big deal, which is a bit disappointing. That's the frustrating part about Supercoach captains. These five, amazing. The other note about Bond and Oliver, they've both increased in price, started them both, and I've saved myself over 100k by not having to trade either of these two in, coming up on their buy. So this is Bond's buy, so a lot of people are going to want to get him in this week or next week. He's gone up 60k, so I've made money there, so that's good. Oliver's the same. His buys next week. Anyone who wants to get him in, they're paying extra for him, so I'm really happy with that. McRae as well. He's about the same as what he was. He was always a must pick for me, and he always is every year. Lions is in that territory now. I'm really happy with where Lions is. I have lost money on him, I think. I don't remember how much I got him for, but he's nice. Steele, probably, this is the only pick that I'm a bit disappointed in. He's starting to look good now, right in time for everyone to pick him up under 600k. So what a steal that is. The issue, no pun intended, the issue is, I don't know who else I would have gone there. I probably was looking at, I'm just trying to think. It would have been something like Dangerfield, which I did not want to do. It would have been something like Neil, which I probably couldn't have afforded and didn't want to do. So I'm pretty happy with that pick. It might have meant that I started 6 defenders with, or 5 defenders, and had Ridley in as well, and had an extra rookie here. So, which ended up would have been a fail as well. So in the end, it probably is a good pick. Walsh, amazing. I reckon he's a must-have. Must-have going forward, and a must-have now. He's so good. And then Jordan, bit of a spanner here because he didn't lose any money, but he's reset his cash a little bit at 50. So I had planned on trading him this week. We'll see. Poulter's just great. I'll trade both of these guys either this week or next week, depending. You can't trade everyone next week. That's the issue. You've got to trade some this week. So I've already got a bunch of guys that I want to flip, and that's this week only. McNeil didn't play great because his break-even 68. I'm a bit worried about him losing money. So it's cool that he doesn't. They're on a bye. This guy certainly will go this week. Brockman, dead position. And I'm taking up a bit of time now, so apologies for that. Grundy's back in round 15, and the forward line looks like this. So the reason why I spoke a little bit longer is because I really am unsure what I'm going to do with the trades. So I'm not going to do too much stuff as far as trades go. I'll just try to give you guys an idea about what I'm going to do, and I'm going to play all week with it. So if I don't do anything crazy, like trading Zorko for, say, a Josh Kelly or something, and bringing Poulter in here and going crazy like that, which I won't, but I might, could go Boak or something like that, it's likely going to look like this. So I need a defender out, and I really think the only one that makes any sense is either Highmore or Jones. For the sake of this video, I'll go Highmore, just because I think he's a dead position. I would like to eventually trade Jones out, though. That's the only concern there. In Whitfield. So that's the first trade. If I spell his name right. There he is, Whitfield at 500. I think he's a no-brainer. I think everyone needs to get Whitfield in, and everyone will get Whitfield in. He's usually always a Supercoach starter. He just didn't start this year. So scores that he's put out since he came back, 80. He'd just come back. He'd just warming up in these games, and now he's pumping out scores that are unbelievably impressive. He's about as low as you're going to get him, and he has had his bye last week. So it's just, there's never been a more perfect pick. He bottoms out at his bye. He doesn't have another bye for the rest of the year. They have an extremely easy run where they play North, Carlton, Hawthorn in the next few. They play Gold Coast again. They play, who else? Carlton again at the end of the year. This is a dream bye. If Whitfield stays fit, you should have him in your team. So that's the first one. 87. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky. I'm not too sure what the rest of my moves will be, and this is where it's been a little bit of a tricky one. So I might want to go Reeves. The problem is that there's no one here worth this type of money. So if it's McCreary, then the question is, I've got 300k, like what's the point? So Callum Coleman-Jones goes in. I still only have 5 positions here full. Reeves comes in, so let's get Reeves in. So let's see. We just got to see how this looks. Reeves. So there he is. Covers here, assuming he plays. Covers Grundy very nicely. Hopefully Grundy's back by that time, and we don't cop an L by having Coleman-Jones stuck here, and Reeves dropped. So that's the big risk there. So I may not do this move. The issue is I'm doing it to cover round 14. So next week. Now, if that means I have to trade Reeves out again, that would suck immensely. But it's not a big deal. It's only 1 extra trade. So I'm hoping Reeves plays in round 14. He should. And he puts out good scores when he plays. So he is a good ruckman. 82 and 90. You'll take that. Replacement for Grundy. If you have to play him in round 15 as well, because Grundy's out, fine. Hopefully Grundy's back by 15 or 16. Sits there. And so then I've got 176k, and I don't like this because the idea was it was going to be Jordan. And then I wanted to get Hall in. So Jordan, Hall leaves me with 40k. For those who don't know, Hall is 500,000. So I would send Zorko up here and put Hall on. Callum Coleman-Jones is as good as a premium in the middle at the moment, so no stress there. May not even get a 5th forward, in fairness, but I do want to, because eventually I want to get someone like... I'd like to just full send for Parrish in the middle or something like that. So let's just say it's Hall. And we'll see how the team looks. Oh yeah, alright, because you've got to send one of these two up to do it. Aaron Hall. So that's how the team looks there. 40k in hand. That brings me down to... It's ridiculous. 9 trades again. With 6 defenders. For the lack of a better option, 7 mids and 5 forwards. So a very healthy team. Nearly full premium. Only 40k in hand. I would then use Poulter and Jones to try to get in a mid of some type. So that's where the math starts coming in. So we're talking 220. I didn't even trade McNeil this week. Interesting. Can I trade McNeil? No. So we'll use those 3 next week to create a good midfielder, and then we'll see where we go from there. But it's a puzzle, and as you can see, those last spots, they are a puzzle. So I'm going to have a good think about it. I would like to get Whitfield and Hall this week. That's the truth. Whether I do Reeves or whether I just say no and get someone else, or just don't do Reeves on a Hall, we'll see. We'll see. But realistically, that's how it's probably going to be this week, guys. I'll touch base again, though, if anything changes. I'll hit complete on that just for the sake of it, and we'll show the full team in all its glory. Here, let's do it without. So that's the full set. I'll probably start Poulter over Bianco at all chances. Obviously, we'd start Grundy here, so that would be that. And then Zeeble, love Zeeble for Madden, and Impey for Waterman. So that's how the team's looking at the moment. Callum Coleman-Jones, if he plays for the rest of the year, he might well be a sneaky 6 cover, and you may never need to bring in a 6 forward. So think about that. I have 6 forwards technically with Bolton, but the numbers that this bloke's putting out, he could well be he could well be a very nice mid. So it's something to think about. With 9 trades, I'm feeling really nice here with just these 2 holes now, Poulter and Coleman Jones. The guys I want to get, let's go into players quickly, and we'll go another couple of minutes. The guys I'd like to get, Darcy Parish, 658. I think he's out of reach. I think he's long gone. He's owned by 6% of the league. Those 6% of players are unbelievably lucky. And I just don't know how this happened. 162 on Anzac Day. I thought about it then. I know that I thought about it, but I just didn't like seeing the 72s, the 50 against Port. I didn't like seeing it. But man, has he exploded since then. Never under 100 by this week. I would love to try to get him next week. And I may full send for him if I can. So I may make an extra trade this week just to get some money to full send for Darcy Parish next week. And then save that last forward spot for either keep Callum Coleman Jones in that position or hold out for someone like there's still Dustin Martin around who's still quite nicely priced, not putting out huge scores. I'd have to try to find him. I should just type him in because he's literally out of my... He's probably right in front of me and everyone's yelling saying he was right there. 450, putting out nice scores, 450. So could get him in. It's a nice time to get him in. By next week, though, hate it. So it's certainly something to think about. The other one is also... we'll clear this. The other one to think about is there's a young lad playing in round 14, playing his 3rd game in round 15 on the bubble, Edwards, but I don't think we'll go him just because I don't trust Luke Edwards it is. I don't trust his ability to maintain his position. With all the injuries West Coast have, I find that to be not possible. I also don't like Max Holmes as a cover either. I do like Claverino, and I may keep an eye on their team list, but I may get Claverino just to make some extra cash, someone on defense. So as dumb as this sounds, I might go I might cash 100k out of Lockie Jones. If that means I can get... Actually, it would be... Let's look at the team. Yeah, it would have to be one of these two, wouldn't it? Because I've already got Bianco here. So it's a tough ask to only get 100k for Claverino, who I like. So, yep, frustrating. I may go back on it, and I may get Claverino instead of Reeves, and just forget about round 14, just write it off, because what's 80 points in the long run for an extra trade? So keep Callum Coleman Jones here, full send for Parish, but then the issue is that if you don't have Callum Coleman Jones sitting here, who is your 6 forward? Who's doing it for you? Madden probably does play, keep that in mind. So heaps to talk about in the chat. I'm going to be active there all week. Put some stuff in the comments, let us know what your plan is. What are you thinking of doing? Very tricky. The extra 2 trades are handy. What are you going to do with them? Are you going to use them? I probably will, but I won't take the piss like I was saying with Zorko. Honestly, don't do that. If you've stayed to the end of the video, there's your reward. Don't trade Zorko for someone like Josh Kelly and then trade him back in round 15. That's the dumbest thing you'll ever do. So don't do that. But and don't trade Grundy for like Nick Natanui or something like that. Don't. Oh, it wouldn't even be Nick Natanui. I don't know. Someone who had a round 12 buy, a round 12 ruckman, Lightums or something stupid like that. Please don't do that. That would be wildly dumb. A Goldstein or something. Don't do it. That's all we got to say. So I'll leave these trades locked in as they are now. It may be a case that I can't get Hall. Hall is lost to me. I might have to go Martin just to take 50k extra or whatever it is, 60k extra, because the more I talk about it, the more I want to full send for Poulter next week. Not Poulter, I was looking at his name. Full send for Parish next week. So, thanks for watching. Good luck. Hopefully you guys had a good week. Look forward to having a chat with all you guys this week as we always do. Thanks.